Hello dear students, I hope you are doing great and everything is okay. I am Rabar Muhammad, a teacher from Cambridge International School, Capital City branch. I am here with you today to do this checkpoint paper with you, which is paper 2 2015. But before you start doing your paper with me, please make sure you sit down in a quiet room so that nothing can make you busy and you understand the video lesson well. And now we will go to the next page. Question number 1. Complete the sentences about food chains. Choose from the following words: consumer, predator, prey, producer. A food chain starts with a producer. We know that all food chains start with producers, okay? And number 2, any animal eaten by another animal is their prey. And 3, an animal that eats something else in the food chain is a consumer. And number 4, an animal that eats another animal is a predator. And now, question number 2. This bar chart shows the boiling point of some substances. So here is a bar chart. We have some substances here, and their boiling points are shown here in the bar chart. So we have to answer the following questions according to the information we have it here in the bar chart. Question A, what's the boiling point of substance A? Substance A, if you look at substance A, you see it is highlighted, shaded until 300. So this means that the boiling point of substance A is 300. B, which substance has the lowest boiling point? So when we say lowest, means the smallest one. So which one is the smallest number? D. So you write down D. Next page. Question C. What happens to a liquid when it boils? Of course, when we boil a liquid, it evaporates or it turns into gas. Question D. Water is not shown on the bar chart. What is the boiling point for water? We have already studied that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, although it's not shown here in the bar chart, but we know that it is 100. Question number 3. Oliver measures how loud some sounds are. A. Circle the apparatus he uses. So we need to circle one of these apparatus. We have it here. So of course the apparatus means equipment. Okay. So to measure sound, we use sound meter. Question B. Oliver picks up a guitar. And the question is, what must he do to the guitar to produce a sound? So here we can write down more than one answer. We can say he must vibrate the strings, or he must move the strings, or he must plug the strings, or he must pick the strings. But I'm telling you, just write down, he must vibrate the strings. Next page. Question C. There is a group of children playing violins. The teacher wants them to produce a louder sound. What 2 things would make this happen? Tick the 2 correct sentences. So we have 4 sentences here. 1. Play the violins harder. Yes, this one is true. We need to tick this one, first one. And number 2, play the violins softer. No, this one is false. 3. Have more violins playing. Yes, this one is true. Tick. The last one, have less violins playing. And this one is false. Leave it. Next page. Page number 5. Question number 4. Question number 4. Keys can be used to identify plants. Here is the key for some plants. So we've got 5 plants here. A, B, C, D, E. And we've got some questions here. We use these questions to identify the plants. Okay. But what do we need to do? We need to start with the first plant. Plant A. We need to read the questions one by one. Then we can identify the first one, A. So now we will start with plant A. Let's read the first question. Does it have berries? Plant A, does it have berries? Yes or no? Of course, it doesn't have any berries, so the answer is no. Now we will move to the other question. Does it have spiky petals? Again, the answer is no. So if the answer is no, then we will move to the other question. Does it have bell-shaped flowers? So if the answer is yes, we go to the yes side. If no, to the no side. So again, the answer is no, then we move to the other question. Does it have 4 petals on each flower? Again, the answer is no. So it is a pinnate-leaved ragwort. It is a pinnate-leaved ragwort. So here, for A, we have to write down a pinnate-leaved ragwort. Now we move to the other plant B. Again, we do the same thing as we did it for plant A. We have to read the questions one by one until we find out what is plant B. Okay, plant B. Does it have berries? Of course, no. We will move to the no side. Does it have spiky petals? Yes. So the answer is yes for this question. Yes. So this means that plant B is an alpine aster. So here down we have to write down alpine aster. Now we will go to plant C, and again we have to start with the first question. Does it have berries? Yes, as you see it here, plant C has berries, so the answer is yes. So this means that C is a cowberry. So here for C we have to write down cowberry. Now we will go to D, plant D. Again, in the same way, we have to start with the first question. Does it have berries? Of course, no. Does it have spiky petals? Again, no. Does it have bell-shaped flowers? Yes. So if you look at the flower, it has a bell-shaped flowers. So this means that it is a fairy thimble bell flower. So here for D we have to write down fairy thimble bell flower. Now only E is left. Okay, and again we will start with the first question. Does it have berries? No. Does it have spiky petals? No. Does it have 4 petals on each side? Yes. If you look at it, each flower has 4 petals. Each side has 4 petals. So this means that it's common. It is a common merizome. So the last one, E, we have to write down a common merizome. Now we will move to the other page. Question number 5. Chen wants to separate a mixture of salt, sand, and iron powders. A. First of all, Chen decides to separate the iron from the mixture. Put a circle around the method he uses. So here we need to choose one of the methods here. We have 4: evaporation, filtration, magnetic attraction, and sieving. To separate iron from the mixture, of course, iron is attracted to magnet. So we need to use what? We need to use magnetic attraction. So we can use magnetic attraction. B. Chen then decides to separate the sand from the salt and sand. So here we have another part of the investigation. We need to separate the sand from the salt and the sand. And he adds water to the mixture and then stirs the mixture for 2 minutes. Put a circle around the method he then uses to obtain the sand. So here we need to separate the sand. So we can use filtration, because you know that sand cannot go through filter paper. We can use filtration to separate the sand. Question C. To finish the separation, Chen gets salt from the salt solution. Put a circle around the method he uses to obtain the salt. Of course, we know that salt is one of the materials can be dissolved in water, and when it's dissolved in water, we have to evaporate the water to get out the salt. So here we can use evaporation to get out the salt or to obtain the salt. Next page, number 7. Question number 6. Perry and Yuri investigate how exercise changes pulse rate. What equipment will they need to measure pulse rate? Circle the correct equipment. We already said that equipment means apparatus, or sometimes the word apparatus is used instead of equipment, and sometimes equipment is used instead of apparatus. So here the first equipment is used to measure pulse rate, and of course pulse rate means heart beating. B. Which unit is the correct measurement of pulse rate? Circle the correct answer. We know that heartbeat or pulse rate is measured in a unit, and the unit is called beats per minute. So the first one is the correct answer. We have to circle the first one, beats per minute. Next page, question C. Perry runs for 1 minute. Complete the sentence using one of these words. Decrease, increase, stay the same. Perry thinks his pulse rate will increase, of course, like running makes your heart to beat faster. This means that your pulse rate will increase. D. What is the sentence above? Circle the correct answer. Conclusion, method, prediction, result. So here this sentence, Perry thinks his pulse rate will increase. This is prediction, because here's he predicts and he thinks about his pulse rate. So this means that this is prediction. E. Question E. Perry runs for 1 minute again. Why is it a good idea to repeat the measurements? Of course, because it makes the result to be more reliable, or we can get accurate data. Next page. Question number 7. So question 7. The flow chart shows part of water cycle. So here we have the water cycle. Let's go to the questions. A. What's the name of process A? If we look at process A, it is from seawater to water vapor. This means that water from the sea changes to water vapor. So we need to write down the name of the process. Okay, when water changes to water vapor, it has a name. So we call it evaporation. The process has a name. So the name of the process is evaporation. B. What's the name of question B? What's the name of process B? Now we have process B. Water vapor changes to water droplets in clouds. So we call this process condensation. When water vapor, when steam condenses, it becomes a droplet. Okay. So here condensation. C. Sometimes it is so cold that the water in a lake becomes ice. What's the name of this process? So when liquid water changes into ice, we call it freezing. It freezes and becomes solid, so we call it freezing. And D. Seawater is boiled in a beaker for a long time. What would you see? Of course, when we boil water for a long time, the water evaporates, okay, or we could say the water turns into steam or turns into water vapor. Just be careful. You need to write down only one answer. As I already told you about most of the questions, sometimes you can find 2 answers, you can find 3 or 4 answers, but remember, any question that you answer, you shouldn't write down more than one answer. Okay, just write down one and enough. Next page, question 8. Lily wants to measure her mass. She stands on the scales. So here we have 2 pictures of Lily. First one, she puts her hands down, and the other one, she puts her hands up. And the question says, tick the correct answer. We have 3 sentences. Okay, so we have to tick only the correct one. Lily's mass is the greatest when her hands are up. This one is false. 2. Lily's mass is less when her hands are up. Again, false. Lily's mass is the same when her hands are up or down. This one is true, the last one, so tick the last box. It doesn't make any difference if her hands are up or down, still her mass stays the same. Okay, next page. Question number 9. Flowers have different parts. So here we have a sample of a flower and the parts are shown here. Question A. Why do flowers have petals? Of course, we already studied that. We know that flowers have petals, and the reason is to attract insects. Okay, to attract insects. And question B. Circle the part of the flower which produces pollen. Which one produces pollen in the flower? Anther. So you just circle anther. C. Circle a female part of the flower. Circle the female part of the flower. So we can circle stigma, because stigma is the female part of the flower. Now we will go to the next page. Question 10. Roger finds an electrical circuit diagram in a book. Label the circuit diagram. Okay, so we have 4 blanks here. We need to label the parts of the circuit, the components of the circle. So the first one up is a cell or battery. You can write down one of them, cell or battery. This one, the second one, wire, and here this cross, the circle with the cross in it, it is lamp. And the last one, switch. Just write down switch, no need to say open switch or close switch, just write down switch is enough. Question A, label the circuit diagram. We did it, we answered this one. And the other one, Rajiv builds this circuit. Okay, this circuit is built by this person, and it says B, it does not work. Explain why. Of course, there is a gap here, so we need to write there is a gap, or the circuit is not complete, or the circuit is broken. So one of them. C. Rajiv now builds the circuit. It does not work. Explain why. Again, there's another circle built by this person, but still does not work. Explain why it doesn't work. Of course, if you look at the batteries, you see that the batteries are put wrong, or the batteries are connected to negative. Okay, so any one of them will be if you write down any of these two will be correct. Question 11. Oliver and Carlos investigate sounds. They listen to the pitch made by different recorders. Question A. The recorders are different lengths. And what apparatus is used to measure the length of the recorders? So apparatus means equipment. What equipment is used? So ruler, just write down ruler. B. Recorder B, if you look at recorder B, has the lowest pitch. Predict which recorder will have the highest pitch. Circle the correct letter. So if B has the lowest one, so which one will have which one has the highest one? Of course, C. C is the right answer, because C is the opposite of B. Next page. Question 12. Using the picture below, list 3 features which can help this animal to adapt to this environment. This is a camel. We know that camels live in deserts, and they have got some features which help them to live in deserts. Okay, so here you have to write down 3 features. You are free to choose any feature that you know. Okay, so for the first one, you can write down it has wide feet. It has wide feet. or we can say it has padded feet. Number 2, it has a hump. Number 2, it has a hump. 3, it has long eyelashes. It has long eyelashes. 13. Question 13. Scientists explored the solar system. Which scientist was one of the first to believe that the sun was at the center of our solar system? Tick the correct scientist. So the scientist that believed that the sun was at the center of the solar system was the second one, Galileo. So tick the second box. Next page. Question number 14. Hassan lives by the sea. He wants to find out how much salt is in the sea water. He measures a small volume of sea water using this apparatus, this equipment. Question A. What's the name of the apparatus? X. So X, here we need to write down the name. So it is a measuring cylinder. It is a measuring cylinder. Question B. What is the volume of seawater in apparatus X? If we look at apparatus X, we can see that the level of the water is between 30 and 40. So it's in between. So this means that it is 35 cubic centimeter of water. So you just write down 35 here for question B. C. Hassan then finds the mass of a clean glass dish. What piece of apparatus should Hassan use to do this? Circle the correct answer. So he can use a balance. Next page. Question D. Hassan pours all of the seawater into the glass dish. He leaves the dish of seawater in the sun for 1 day. What happens to the volume of seawater in the dish? Circle the correct answer. So of course, if you leave it outside, what happens? The level of the water decreases. So circle decreases. And now we will go to the other page. Question number 15. Priya and Maya makes a sundial. So this is a picture of sundial. Okay. Here the part of the sundial are labeled, shown here. Question A, the time is 14. Describe how the sundial shows this time. Of course, we can know the time, or we can describe this because, as you see here on the sundial, the light from the sun is blocked by the pointer. So the answer is the light from the sun is blocked by the pointer. Question B. Why does the shadow change during the day? Circle the correct answer. So number 1, the sun moves during the day. The earth spins on its axis during the day. The sun spins on its axis during the day. So the right answer is the second one. The earth spins on its axis during the day. Question C. Hiria wants to make a sundial to show the time over 24 hours. Maya says this is not possible. Explain why Maya is correct. Because the answer is because there is no sun at night. So if there is no sun at night, we cannot use it to show time. So we can say because there is no sun at night. Next page. Question 16, and this is the last question actually. Aiko investigates how much a solid dissolves in 100 cubic centimeters of water. She writes down her results. Here is a page from her notebook. So this picture is taken from her notebook. Okay. The question is, why is it a good idea for Aiko to put her results in a table? So why is it good, or what's the benefit of making a table for the results? Okay. Of course, the answer is because it's easier to understand the results, or because it will be more nicer for the results to be arranged in order, in the correct order. And dear students, we came to the end of this paper. Hope that you've enjoyed the video lesson and got benefit from it. Bye for now.